What's going on, everybody? It's Craig from MobileTechTalk, and today we are going to be talking about the Honor Band 5, what I like and what I dislike about this incredibly cheap fitness tracker. So let's get into it. So number one on my likes list is actually the AMOLED display. You may be able to see it, but it's a 0.95 inch display. And it's actually, as I said, AMOLED, so you get incredibly deep blacks, but you also get vibrant colors, which is something that I'm not used to on a fitness tracker at this price. I'm used to it on smartwatches, but not at this price. So I think the AMOLED display here, I know the Mi Band, the Xiaomi Mi Band and other fitness trackers around about the same price have this, but on this particular device, from what I've seen, it looks lovely. So number two on my list is the heart rate monitoring. So a lot of fitness trackers do this now, a lot of smartwatches do this now. A lot of wearables do that now, and there's a number of different ways to do it. So the way in which the Honor Band 5 does it is it manages it in a couple of different ways. You can either manually invoke it, and you can press and hold the button, wait, hold your arm sort of chest height, and be very still, and it will measure your heart rate and kind of give you an overview and kind of continually measure it until you kind of move away from the app on the band itself. You can have an intermittent measurement, so you can actually set it to based on your movements, or when you move into workout mode it'll start measuring it more often or constantly if you're in workout mode, or you can just set it to constant and it will constant 24 hours a day measure that. That's obviously going to affect your battery life, and I've been using it in the intermittent mode, and I think the heart rate monitoring is really quite sensitive here. So I actually used it at the gym with one of the Body Tracks machines, and it was within 2 or 3% margin of error, I would say, in terms of actually tracking what my heart rate was compared to the incredible professional machines that they use at the gym. So number two is my heart rate monitor. I think the heart rate monitor on the Honor Band 5 is actually really quite accurate, and it's nice that you've got a few different ways to invoke it as well. So speaking of the battery, number three is that battery life. So it's a like, it could be better, but it is a like. So anything over a couple of days for me is acceptable. Coming from a smartwatch, I'm used to a day, two at most. I've kind of moved away from the smartwatch thing now. I like something that's more fitness based or heart rate based, or sort of a wearable rather than a smart wearable. I like the hybrid solution. So the band is actually quite good. I've been using a Nokia HR Sport. Again, very, very similar. So the battery life on this, it suggests up to 14 days. You can get up to 14 days. I've managed to get, I think, 2 weeks, so 12 days. So almost 2 working weeks and the weekend. But that was using hardly any of the notifications. That wasn't using heart rate monitoring. That was basically using very dumb features of what this smart band can do. So I managed to get 5 whole days using the intermittent heart rate monitoring, and probably having about 20 applications throwing notifications. So emails, Gmail, that sort of stuff, WhatsApp, Twitter, all of that is constantly hitting this band. And I think 5 days is actually quite good for this. So number four is, it's one that I really shouldn't have to say anything about, but it's the construction. So this device is £30. That's cheap for wearables now, and cheap for the sort of tracking that it does, and we'll get onto that at number 5. But the construction is quite cheap. It's plastic, it feels plasticky, but it feels really comfortable. I was surprised. I looked at it as soon as I got it out of the box, and I thought, there's no way I'm going to be able to sleep track this. I can't sleep in this. There's some watches I can't sleep in because they're quite bulky as well. But I've actually been really, really surprised. It doesn't feel like it's on your wrist at all. It doesn't rub, it doesn't leave a rash. So my number 4 is actually how comfortable it feels on the wrist. And my number 5, as I've just alluded to, is the number of different tracking options you've got here. So heart rate monitoring, as I've just suggested, manual, intermittent, constant. Obviously it's going to weigh your battery life down. You've got sleep tracking here. You've got 6 or 7 different workout modes. You've got indoor and outdoor walking, indoor and outdoor running. You've got indoor and outdoor cycling. You've got gym, free training as well. Cardio, not gym. Rowing. I know there's an update on the 30th of September. If you're watching this after then, you've probably already seen it or got it, if you've got the Honor Band 5. That's going to deliver blood oxygenation and probably some more fitness features as well. So just a number of things this can track, as well as your steps. I mean, everything does steps now. Your phone does steps counting. So that's not a big deal, but just the number of things that you can actually track with the band, and not the Honor Band 5, this smart band, at £30 to me is just brilliant. And now, sadly, onto the things that I don't like about the Honor Band 5. And my first one is the notifications. Now, Honor aren't the only people to get this wrong. Xiaomi get this wrong. Nokia have got this wrong in the past. Garmin have got this wrong. Polar have got this wrong. Samsung have even got this wrong at some point, and they're used to delivering smart devices. Well, so are Honor now, and Xiaomi. But you know what I mean. The notifications here are just a hot mess. So the third-party application that you get, the health app, the Huawei Health app, is brilliant. And in there, you can actually choose which applications you can go through and granularly choose which applications are going to send notifications through to your Honor Band 5. They all come through absolutely no problem at all. Phone calls, I've had 2 phone calls, I think, that have actually vibrated my band, and these have all been during business hours, not do not disturb or anything like that. I've even missed calls that I've then had a notification that I've actually missed the call on here, but it's never actually rung. I don't know what's going on with the notifications. The second part of the notifications issue is that when you get the notifications and you swipe them away, you can see them, swipe them away, you can read them, that's all fine, but it does nothing in terms of syncing back to your phone. So as soon as you go and pick up your phone after a couple of hours and you've swiped all your notifications away on your Honor Band 5, they're still all there to be swiped away and dealt with on your phone. So maybe this will get fixed with an update. I'm not holding my breath, but notifications is my #1 dislike about the Honor Band 5. A close second to notifications is actually the charging block. I'll do some close-ups and maybe some B-roll of this, but this little thing here that looks like it's been 3D printed with a bit of metal stuck onto it is actually the charging. So how it actually works is, I don't know how it's supposed to sit and where it's supposed to sit, but it clips on. It's got a nice clipping mechanism, so it clips on and grasps the cradle. It cradles the Honor Band 5 rather, which is absolutely fine. But where are you supposed to put it? You get a micro USB cable, you plug that in, you can put it on the desk, but then because of the way in which the band actually kind of extends into the strap, it can't lie flat at all, like a watch. So there's literally no point in putting it flat on the desk because it just kind of moves all over the place. You end up kind of moving it, putting it on its side and kind of telling yourself that that's great because you can see any notifications coming in, or you can see the time or how well it's charging. But it's just not an elegant solution at all. Something magnetic, something maybe even the charging port on the actual device itself, maybe a pop-out one. Lots of different options, but this is my #2 pet hate on the Honor Band 5. And my third and final dislike on the Honor Band 5 is actually the navigation. So the UI is absolutely fine. You swipe up, swipe down, go through the menus, you swipe left and right to kind of toggle through those menu options. That's absolutely fine. But sometimes when you get a bit of water on it, it's difficult to press, and this is water resistant. You can go swimming and it will track that. But sometimes as you're swiping away, you'll have to do it 4 or 5 times and then go, oh, right, fine, it's caught up. I don't know whether that's a processor issue or more likely a digitizer issue under the display. But it's not the best. Maybe it's fat finger syndrome, it could be. But I've spoken to a few peers and they've kind of said the same about a number of these dislikes, although their mileage has varied in some aspects. But my #3 and final Honor Band 5 dislike is the navigation. I just wish it was a little bit more crisp in terms of picking up your touches. So there you have it, guys. They're my likes and dislikes of the Honor Band 5. Keep it locked to Mobile Tech Talk. We've got the full review coming up on the site very shortly. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more sort of tech reviews, tech videos, events. Lots of the different team are going to be throwing some video up there. We've got a bit of a new push, so please keep it locked and please subscribe. And I hope you liked the video, just kind of highlighting my likes and dislikes of the Honor Band 5. For £30, I don't think you can go wrong, frankly. The Xiaomi Mi Band is a competitor that a lot of people are looking at. I think that's probably the closest competitor here, and that's obviously who these guys have gone after. But ignoring comparisons, I think if you spent £30 on this, I don't think you'd be disappointed. You might have a few pet peeves like I've got, but overall the utility and the feature set you're getting with this for £30 now, I think is well worth punting.